It is the worst case of child neglect that Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd says he has ever seen. Deputies say a child just under 3 years old was found on the brink of death at his home on May 12th. He was covered in infections and his organs were severely damaged, and sadly, he did not survive. Well, now his parents are behind bars facing serious charges, and Fox 13's Evan Axelbank is in the newsroom with the plea from Sheriff Judd. It's just even difficult to say those words, Evan.
Yeah, no kidding. This child's name is not being released, but we do know that he had a short and unhappy life. He was already on a ventilator because of a previous incident, and as Sheriff Judd puts it, it seems his parents just got tired of taking care of him. We do want you to know some of the details in this story are graphic and may be difficult to hear.
The child's Bartow apartment was nothing short of shocking.
I have never seen the horror that we saw with this poor child.
It all began with a near drowning. 2 years ago, when the child was 10 months old, he fell into a pool and barely survived. His parents chose to keep him on a ventilator and stomach tube, with health aides helping to care for the child, who was in a permanent coma.
The child had no brain activity, could not even blink his eyes, cannot move his extremities.
In October, Sheriff Judd says they switched healthcare companies and began to stall on the new one. They ceased answering their door. On Friday, May 12th, Takesha Williams called 911 and said a piece of equipment wasn't working properly.
There appeared to be no life in the child. This child had an extremely extended stomach, and it was green. This child was rotting in the bed.
The child was rushed to the hospital but died. Sheriff Judd says the pair was afraid to call for help because she was worried DCF would take their other children away.
And this is only supposition on my part. They just got tired of the baby. They just got tired of the intensive care this child needed.
The child was so infected that he was decomposing while he was still alive, with organs visible outside his body.
My prayer would be that the child was in a deep enough state that he wasn't aware of what was happening to him. But I don't know that.
Though Williams denied there was any neglect, she and the boy's father, Ephraim Allen, are charged with child neglect with great bodily harm.
Ultimately, our goal is to send these folks to prison for just as long as we can send them to prison. And then from there, God's got to take over.
There were two other children in the home, both younger than the victim. They've both been removed, given that both parents are still in jail. But those children are said to be in good physical condition. While this is, of course, an extreme case, Linda, the sheriff says that any parents who have a child with particular needs and are feeling overwhelmed have many places to turn to for help before it gets even remotely near this point.
Yeah,
back to you.
I hope if anyone finds himself in that situation, they will remember Sheriff Judd and call the Sheriff's Department. And that's a good way to start, right? To find those resources.
Without a doubt.
Thanks, Evan.